Hey everybody, I'm Greg Soul and I'm here with another CIQ demo. Today I am extremely excited to talk to you about Ascender. It is our automation product that is based off the upstream Ansible AWX project, right? And so I've been working with Ansible on the command line and various other methods for quite a few years, and now I get to take all those playbooks I've already written or that I can pull off the internet, and now I can use them with CIQ support. So today's example, I'm going to be actually showing you something pretty simple. I'm going to be doing more demos in the future, so be looking for those. But for today, I'm going to show you how to do LTS, long-term support, using our Mountain product. And so our Mountain product is this right here. And so I'm only going to go into this briefly because Justin Burnett, one of my amazing team members, did a really good video on it. And so pop over there. We'll have a link in the description, or maybe something will pop up here on the screen in one of these corners. But LTS, long-term support. In this example, I've got CIQ LTS for Rocky Linux 8.6, right? So I've got my 8.6 installed, and for whatever reason, I need to version lock it in here. I can click on that subscription section inside of Mountain here, and it'll give me all the manual steps, right? And that's great. Only I don't want to do it manually. I want to use a piece of automation, and guess what? I've already written a playbook to do that. So I'm going to pop into my Ascender install here. I'm going to go to the template section. So the template section is where you actually keep your pieces of automation that you want to fire off. So I'm going to fire this one off right here. It's my Rocky LTS mix demo, and it says mix for a very specific reason. And so this is up and running, and guess what? It's going to connect into my machines, and it's going to update them, whether they're LTS or not. And through the magic of editing, we don't have to wait. I'm going to pause here, and we'll come back once it's complete. All right, the job has now completed. And if I look down at the very bottom of my output, so every time I launch a piece of automation inside of Ascender, it's going to pop up in the job section, right? So if I go to the job section, I can click right here. I mean, it's automatically going to take me there, but if I click there, I can go back in time and I can see what happened on my job run. At the very bottom, I see the play recap and I see everything completed successfully. So let me walk you through a little bit of the output here. So very first two things I'm doing really are just for informational purposes. These are just for purposes of this demo, same with the very last two, right? So you could actually shrink down this playbook a bit, but it makes it easier for me to kind of show you what's going on here. So very first thing I do is I connect to those two systems, one that's going to be the LTS and one that's non-LTS. And I am just grabbing what version of Linux are you running, right? You can see they both start out running Rocky Linux 8.6 Green Obsidian, right? Start at the start, pretty easy. Next, I'm going to check and see if there is already any LTS stuff configured for these devices. There is not, so it is going to pop in. And so my LTS device, it's going to pop in and say, hey, I've noticed based on the inventory information, and again, an inventory is just a really big list of all the things you could potentially run against. Here's my LTS one. I'm going to pop it in the host section. And for my LTS device, I've actually got it stored right here. This is the LTS version I want it to match to. And I even use it in my playbook. I use this as a variable that I put in my playbook as well, right? So this could theoretically be pulled from my CMDB, right? My configuration management database, my source of truth, right? So I'm going to keep information about my applications or various things in some place, right? Stored in some database. I'm going to pull them into my CIQ Ascender here, pull it into my inventory dynamically, and I'm going to bring that information along with it, right? So that CMDB could be something like ServiceNow. It's a very popular one that folks use these days, right? So pulling it in, I'm going to have my LTS version. So if it's got a variabilized set of information there for LTS version, it knows, hey, this is LTS. Make sure it's set to LTS. So it first run, it checked and said, oh, hey, you should be set as LTS. I don't see that right now. So first thing it's going to do is it's going to install the required packages to make sure the LTS configuration is done, right? So really, I'm just putting the CLI in there. Next, you can see changed for updating the access key for CIQ. Then I'm enabling the subscription. And then last, I'm telling it to fire off updates for all these devices, which is really cool, right? Because I can have mixed hosts in there. They don't all have to be LTS or all non. I can actually run a mixed in there, and it's going to determine what does it need to be, LTS or non-LTS. If it's one thing or the other, it's actually going to configure it the way it needs to using the Mountain access key. I'm actually storing it, again, securely inside of there, and I'm pushing that onto the device. Now, the very last thing I do is I am collecting the OS information again, and I'm showing you, hey, here's my non-LTS one, or rather, this is my LTS one. And you can see right here, Rocky Linux 8.6, it stayed on our LTS version, just the way we wanted to, even after the update. And then our non-LTS version, it went ahead and pulled the updates, and now it's at 8.8. So, right, you can really quickly, succinctly see how easily this can complete this task. Now, you could be running this for a single application, right? Maybe you've got an application that you're running and it's got a whole set of hosts and you want to do the updates for them. Yeah, you could do that. You could run it across your entire fleet if you want to, right? You can mix and match. You can do this however you want. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me, reach out to the rest of the team. We are always happy to be of help, be of service. So thanks. Happy automating, happy mountaining. We'll see you guys next time.